Yo, welcome to the. Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? I mean,
It's a lot going on today.
yeah.
Oh, you can't see it because I'm taller than Angelica. So we had to raise the shot.
I mean, this is his show. He gotta,
It's his show.
he gotta introduce
And-
us.
oh,
he got,
oh.
here we go.
He's
Here we go.
here. Oh,
Here we go. We are live.
Hey. What's happening? We ready?
We are
live.
live.
Oh, we're live. Oh, shoot.
We've been talking about.
All right. Well,
We
good.
are
Good.
talking about you.
Good. Okay.
Oh,
That's,
no, we
that's,
weren't. We weren't.
that's the beauty of live TV, right? We get to do it and do it again. Here we go. All right. Y'all ready to do this?
All right,
Yeah,
let's
right.
go.
All right. Give me a crooked countdown, if you will. LeContier.
Yeah.
Three,
2, 1.
Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. Today, Diddy did it.
Did it. 5 reasons that black people don't seek mental health care.
Representative Jasmine Crockett hit Margie Taylor Greene with those Fifth Ward bees. Also, TikTok teacher goes viral. He gets fired. And lastly, we're going to talk about Alicia Franklin's rape case with Cleotha Abstinence and how it affected the Eliza Fletcher case also. And we got Black Girls Doc in the building.
Yeah.
Not Black Girls Rock, but Black Girls Doc. We got the Black Doctors in the building. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
one.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. And we are live right here with our wonderful, wonderful co-host. And oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
DJ
That's not.
Yeah, she don't look like Angelica.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Guess who came from behind the camera today?
Come on,
DJ
man.
Kojak.
Come on now.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
DJ Kojak. Hold on.
Miss, make it happen. That's what.
Wait a minute now. I told her she was gonna look like a deer in the headlights when she got on on
Okay.
the show for the first time.
No,
Right.
no.
Look at
I'm
look.
ready to argue here. I'm ready to give it to you. I'll be okay.
Introduce yourself to the wonderful public because they want to know who you are.
Well, I'm Nichelle, aka Shell, and I am.
Step up to that microphone.
I'm
There's
so
some
sorry.
nerves I was
And
talking about,
am
Coach.
There you go.
The producer, the everything, the runner, and all the behind the scenes work of the Antonio Parkinson Project.
It's Nichelle Smith in the building. Give it up for her. Yeah. First timer.
Come on now.
I heard that first timer. DJ Kojak, scratch it up for him 3 times. No, 4 times, Kojak. 4 times.
Wow.
Did y'all hear that scratch? Hey, doctors, did y'all hear that scratch?
I heard it.
You
There
heard
you
it?
go.
Okay.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
Love my
give,
doctor.
give yourself some therapy later on, but yeah, we heard it too. Yeah, we heard it too. DJ Kojak, hey man, there's a lot going on. It's
It
a
is.
whole lot going on.
It
You know,
is.
we're of course the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the entire month of May we are educating people on the importance of mental health. And we are excited. Thank you to Alliance Healthcare. Let's give it up for Alliance Healthcare,
Yes.
who is making it happen. And we got the Black doctors in the building.
Black
So
Girl
yeah,
Magic.
yeah, that's right. So Nichelle, with her nervous ass, she says this is a good time for y'all to like, subscribe, and hit
Oh,
that
'cause
subscribe
we
button.
forgot to say it earlier.
Right.
So yes, it is a good time for you to like, follow, subscribe, share, tune in, comment the whole time. Yeah. Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Thank you for that, Nichelle.
She's
yeah.
our therapist. Oh, always.
Oh man,
She
What?
reel us
It's
back
'cause
in.
I feed
What?
them. That's really all that it is. Food is therapy. Food is love.
that is right. She is our ADHD corraler in this space, right?
Yes.
Because when you're dealing with folks that is that's all over the place, you need somebody to
Speaking of,
right.
did he do it?
Oh, okay, yeah, that exactly, right.
That's how you do it.
You're right. Diddy did it though. Actually,
Did he?
yeah,
Yes, he
so
did it.
honestly, a lot of us a lot of us, myself included, were shocked to see
Yeah.
this video drop. You know, and I saw it from CNN. CNN dropped it at 1 o'clock today,
Yeah.
and a video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in the hotel. You know, she it looked like she was trying to get away.
Yeah.
Allegedly, let me make sure I put that in there.
Yeah.
Allegedly, it looked like she was trying to get away, and he came out of the room down the hallway after her with a towel on.
Yeah.
Which,
And
how bad do you have to be beating somebody when you naked? I'm just
yeah, well, yeah, that part, yeah. And so he, you know, from allegedly, according to the video I saw, looked like he was beating her, and then he was trying to drag her back to the room, and then it looked like she might have got away again, and she was on the hotel phone and came back out and
Part two.
yeah, and was throwing a vase at her, and you know, and that's, you know, that's incredibly disheartening, incredibly sad to see, and you know, for any individual, any woman, you know, to go through to you know, be a victim of. It's traumatizing.
Yeah. I noticed he grabbed that bag. He was after that bag first. I don't know what was in that bag because he grabbed that first.
That's a really good
So
point.
she almost made it with all the evidence that allegedly.
Right.
She almost made it out with whatever she was trying to make it out with. But did he, you know, he put a stop to that.
You know, and apparently it you know, and this is just my amateur eyes. I'm glad we got the experts here. My amateur eyes, it looked like this was not something new. Like this wasn't a first time incident.
It's too comfortable.
It
It's
even
too
went on
comfortable.
to say that she left and came back because she just wanted it to be peaceful. She didn't want to cause no problems, and the hotel workers begged her to go home, to leave the situation, and she stayed. So this was not new to her at all.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, and you know, that's unfortunate because, and we'll ask the doctors about this later on, about the fact that you know, some people they do go back, you know, for many reasons. Sometimes it's financial reasons, sometimes it's security, sometimes is a whole host of other, it could be a whole host of other reasons. And you know what's interesting is people always, you know, ask or say, well, why didn't you just leave? Right. And so, you know, and it's easy to say, you know, why didn't you just leave when you are not one of the people that are victims of those situations. And so, you know, I'm hoping that you know, this trauma that Cassie has dealt with, I'm hoping that she'll be able to see someone like our wonderful doctors that we have in the building that we're going to be bringing up later on, you know, and start to receive some healing from this.
Definitely. She gonna need it.
You got to think about how she feels right now, seeing it, reliving it, and having the whole world see what happened to her right now, and she's living through it again.
Yeah, she's living it publicly.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we were talking also from a law enforcement standpoint, and Lord, I'm hoping that LeContier is keeping the time, because I ain't got no sense of what time it is on this segment.
I also wasn't
Right.
paying attention.
But we also talked about from a law enforcement standpoint, you know, while anytime you're dealing with some type of domestic violence, you know, of course, you know, we want to make sure, you know, of course, there needs to be some accountability. But this, to me, it rises higher than just domestic violence. You know, Diddy has done something to tick somebody off to where I think we're about to see the floodgates unleashed on your boy Puffy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
That makes sense, because if he's been doing this for so long, there had to be a lot of powerful people protecting him, and now nobody is. Nobody wants anything to do with him. So whatever he's done, it's like, hey, we don't want no parts.
It's a wake up call. It's definitely his wake up call. It's his turn.
Yeah, you know, interestingly enough, also, you know, when we're talking about situations like this, you know, especially, you know, people, you know, in I don't want to say that magnitude because they know better than anyone else, but people that are, you know, in that light, right, especially that entertainment light, it's not just a matter of them, you know, going to jail because of domestic violence, but you're talking about massive losses, right? You're talking about losses of endorsement deals, you know, and other, large, lucrative business deals. It even go as far as, we said last week, I think when we talked about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar,
Right.
beef,
Right. Yeah.
it's not just a rap beef on vinyl, but the loser loses endorsements. When you're not popular anymore, these
Right,
deals
right,
go
right,
away, right? And so, I think a lot of this is gonna hit Sean Combs, in the same manner.
Yeah, I've been seeing it, and it's like it's across the board. We got, everybody's beefing and bringing out all these allegations. So a lot of our folks are going down. And like I said
Them
this
your folks, those ain't my folks, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say this here.
A lot of Kojak's folks are going down. That's what
Yeah.
they said in the show.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of a
Work
lot
it out,
of
Kojak. Work it out, DJ.
well, you got to look at it like this here. He's a success story, and a lot of people looked up to him. So
Right.
everything he did that was positive gets diminished.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, at that point, that's what we doing to everybody that makes it to a certain plateau.
Yeah.
And he's a mogul. You gotta commend the man for what he did. But all this come down at just like this. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, but how many people got hurt in the process of him doing
Right,
what he
right.
did,
Right.
though?
And I'm gonna say I'm not defending him. No, I do not, man. It's horrible what he did. But I'm saying is when you're ushered into something that's already wicked, and they bring you in and they teaching you how to move in this situation. I'm not saying he's a victim at all. I'm just saying most of our people when they come in, they think they can do it until they tell them you can't do this.
But it's power unchecked.
Right.
You get
There
this
you go.
power, and you surround yourself with people, people,
Fake.
all the way around, man. Look, and I can tell you emphatically, apparently my power ain't unchecked because Nichelle, my assistant, she ain't no yes person. She tell me no all the damn time.
Right. She told me, and I don't even. She's not.
I plead the fifth.
She don't even work for me, and she told me no.
She told you no.
Yeah.
Right,
We're not gonna do that, Kojak.
So
I'm like, okay.
I'm a nice person.
Hey, I don't know. I see. Look, I don't know if y'all seen this cartoon, and this is where our ADHD kicks in, y'all. So y'all give us some therapy as you watch it. So there's this cartoon out there called Veronica. Right. I don't know if y'all seen it. If y'all get a chance, just pull it up on TikTok or wherever you pull it up. Michelle is Veronica.
Okay.
Right. And
I have watched it. I will agree. I am Veronica because you're not going to play with Veronica.
Right. Nichelle is the serious one in the bunch. I mean, we can be laughing, joking. Nichelle have a stern face. Her face be looking like this. Yeah. But go ahead, Nichelle.
I have a resting bitch face, and I don't apologize for that. I get tired of what's wrong? Smile, please. No, I'm not going to do it. So get my face, and that's it.
And that's why I love. Hey, authenticity is the key right here at Black Market Strategies.
Yes.
We do not play, baby.
Yes.
Look, you got to come with it, come authentic. We can sniff a fake a mile away. Yeah. So yeah, man. So I think we got about another minute left in the segment, but we're gonna have the doctors up next. Also, we're gonna talk about Eliza Fletcher's murderer received 80 years for another crime.
Right.
For the rape of Alicia Franklin. Alicia Franklin's rape went unnoticed, but we'll talk about that in the next segment. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. We'll be right back.
one.
It was that it.
That was it.
Oh,
Welcome back. Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. Give it up for our guest co-host in the building. Nichelle Smith is in the building. Woo!
Holding it down.
Over here
trying my
breaking the ice.
best.
Over here breaking the ice. Look, I guess her deer in the headlight moment is over.
Yeah,
So you in there now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we here. I'm in the water. You threw me in the pool. I ain't had a chance to swim.
That's
I'm here.
right. That's right. DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak,
Yeah.
scratch it up for him 4 times.
Bam, bam, bam.
Bam. Woo!
Yeah,
Did you hear that scratch in the shell?
I absolutely heard it.
Okay.
The
That's what I'm
doctor
talking
is in the building.
Yeah.
Give it up for Doc. Wait a minute, hold on. It's not Dr. Townsend. It's Dr. Townsend.
about.
Give it up for the doctor. Y'all give it up for Dr. Townsend.
Thank
in
you.
the building.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So look, welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. We are honored to have you. You know, we're proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You know, I know
appreciate
we
that.
just met 5 minutes ago, but we are proud of you, sister.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, you know, before we get all the way into the segment, tell us a little bit about why did you decide to get into mental health?
Okay. Well, I wish I could tell you a very sentimental story, but I don't have one. So I
Well,
went
that's
to,
honest.
actually I went to college to be a neurosurgeon.
Mm.
And my father at the time was working at the VA, and
Okay.
he arranged for me to have an internship during the summer with the neurosurgeon.
Okay.
So I went into the operating room, and they were prepping. I was excited, you know, first time being in the OR. I felt like this is something I wanted to do. But he made the first cut, and I hit the floor.
That was the end of that.
And I realized it's
Woo!
probably not the career for
Right,
me.
right.
So I went back to school, and I was like, I still want to be a doctor, but not that
Not
type of
kind of-
doctor.
Right.
And so at the time, I was taking intro to psychology classes, and I realized, you know, at that moment, my brain works in storytelling. And so I memorize things when it's told to me in a story, and I'm able to kind of put the puzzle pieces together versus kind of memorizing things, you know, like you'll go to medical school. And so I switched my major to psychology, and haven't looked back since.
So you self-diagnosed yourself.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. So you're in a great place because we tell stories all the time. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome though. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And we mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can speak for the whole
Much
team.
needed. Much needed.
Yeah,
yes.
and definitely not enough of us. Yeah.
And we were just talking about that. Actually, only about 2% of psychologists are African American. So we have a lot of work to do as far as recruitment, education, in regards to making people aware that this is a needed field for people of color.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and it's needed because one, because we need to be in there, number one, but also because of the huge stigma that's attached to mental health in our communities.
Right, right. I will say that it's getting better. It's not as difficult as it was, you know, several years ago, because I think the media has made mental health a kind of a household name now. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm also very excited to see so many African Americans and people of color utilizing services, which, you know, was never done before.
Right.
My background is really in corrections. I started in corrections.
really?
Yes.
I was
Worked
an extra.
201 for 12 years.
did?
So,
Oh, you
yeah.
hung in there for 12 years?
For 12
Well, you
years.
beat your life expectancy over there, man. Look, shit, 3 years.
Listen. That's home away from home for me.
Really?
Yeah.
12 years though?
Yes, I've been
Oh,
in
you seen it
corrections
all,
for
man.
12
You are
years.
perfect
Yeah.
for this role that you're in at Alliance, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. That's why they chose me.
Shit,
So
she done cut her
we'll
teeth
see.
at 201.
So you say after that, anything is easy.
No, in the same place.
But exactly, and that's what I was just about to say. Like, these are the same people that we see in the community.
Yeah.
They just so happen to, you know, have a bad situation. They end up in jail, but when they go out, like, we're going to see them in the community anyway.
Right.
So they're the same individuals, just in a different circumstance.
But you know, let's dig in the weeds with that a little bit, because you're 100% right. You know, one of the interesting things that the Commissioner of Corrections told me in my state representative role is 72% of the inmate population is on mental health meds. 72%. Right. I'm gonna say that every show this month, you know, because that tells you what kind of crisis we're in. And it also tells you that they are housing those that have mental health challenges in our jails and prisons.
Absolutely.
And then the we're going further in the weeds. then the fact that we did not allow for the Affordable Care Act to, you know, take place in Tennessee, those same individuals are uninsured. So they depend
Absolutely.
on safety net facilities such as Alliance and so on and so forth. And as much and as good work, of the work that Alliance does, still not enough alliances, you know, to satisfy the amount of people that are out there that are dependent on the safety net, you know, for or uninsured. So what happened? What the Commissioner of Corrections said is, you know, when they're released from prison, we give them a 31-day supply of their meds. Well, shit, what happens on day 32? Right. That's when you see them.
Well, we see them before
Right,
then, you know,
right.
because most of the time they come right back.
Right.
Before even the 31-day supply or 30-day supply ends. And that's something that's frustrating, especially if you work in corrections, to not be able to have a wraparound plan for when they are released.
Right.
I think we do the best we can. We work with in corrections, and now that I transition, we work with agencies like Alliance. We work with a lot of community partners to make sure that we give them the best chance of, you know, success after they leave corrections.
Right.
But again, you know, this is a societal problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about the medication and, you know, getting them to therapy. If you go back to the same environment, there are societal issues that impact your mental health as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think for a lot of the mental health professionals right now, and I can speak for myself, I'm frustrated because these are things that we've been saying for years,
Yeah.
and no one listened or
Right.
took the time to hear us.
Right.
That we were saying this is a crisis many years ago. But I'm thankful that even now people are starting to hear that this is definitely a crisis in mental health.
Yeah. You know, Nichelle, I'm so glad you're here, and because I knew DJ Kojak wasn't going to have my back since Angelica's not here, and you know, and talking to our guests, and I'm so glad you've asked so many questions yourself. But since while you're thinking about them, let me ask this though. So, Dr. Townsend, you know, you came in here, you know, like bam, right?
And
You know,
bam.
Dr. Townsend came in. Dr. Townsend is a little baddie in here now. And so I'm just thinking now, if I was an inmate at 201 Poplar, man, and I'd be playing crazy if I wasn't. I shouldn't have said it like that. I'd be playing like I had I needed some therapy, right? So I could get in there to Dr. Townsend. Dr. Townsend, did the inmates try to holler?
Well, listen, I am who I am.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
There you go.
I likes to put it on, you know.
That's what I'm talking
And I don't think I don't care where I am, that's not gonna change.
about. You say they gonna holler, huh?
But, I mean,
Well,
but
come
not
on,
just
come on,
that.
Doc.
It's not that.
It's
But
all
this is
good.
what I will say.
What would you say, Doc?
When you carry yourself in a certain way and you put out a certain energy, that energy will come back to you.
Okay.
So, yes, I think any woman working in corrections got catcalled, but I think they knew that I was a woman who carried herself with respect, and they gave it back to me.
Right.
So I was never, you know, disrespected to the point where people were, you know, that made me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Because there were a lot of inmates where they heard someone catcalling me, and they would say, that's Doc. Don't do her that way.
Don't
Like,
come
well,
at her like that.
yeah,
Come at her like that.
yeah.
Yo, Doc.
Because they knew I was there to
Right.
help them.
Right.
And so I think that was in itself a level of respect that was warranted because
Right.
they know that I'm there to help them.
What's one of the? Well, give me a story out of 201 Pop that you can share.
I don't know.
That doesn't violate HIPAA.
It's hard.
It's hard. Oh, you got plenty of them now. You like to tell stories
Yeah,
now. Y'all
yeah,
heard. Look,
right.
y'all heard
Yeah.
her on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
say that.
Anyway,
You
give
know,
us one.
I don't, you know, because I don't want to,
The names
because
change.
no, but it's not that. It's just, you know, we see a lot of things, you
Yeah.
know, in 201 and in the community.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to make it so that it's entertainment because these people are really suffering from mental health illnesses.
Yeah. I'm not gonna apologize for putting you on the spot though.
Oh,
But
no,
yeah,
that's
but
okay.
I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. But let's talk about Alicia Franklin.
Okay.
Alicia Franklin was, I don't even have to say allegedly now because the guy's been sentenced, was raped by Cleota Abston. And let's go back a little bit before that. Before that, you know, I had a bill on the House in the House Finance Committee that said that TBI is to test these rape kits within 30 days.
Right.
The Tennessee House, and it came about because of the Alicia Franklin case and the cases before the backlog of rape kits. Well, the Tennessee House decided that wasn't their priority to fund, so it didn't pass. Alicia Franklin's rape kit didn't get tested for over a year. Oh, well, right at a year. But amazingly, it came back right when they were trying to find Cleota abstinence for the murder of Eliza Fletcher. It amazingly came back on the day they found her body, or right around that time, and it was sadly, you know, and now today, as a matter of fact, he was sentenced to 80 years in prison, you know, for the rape of Alicia Franklin, and he still has the case of Eliza Fletcher that's going to be coming up also. You know, walk us through, and you're the perfect person for this actually too. You know, walk us through the mindset of an individual like a Cleota abstinence. That
Right. One, I will say that I want to start by saying I don't know him. I did not interact with him when he was at the Criminal Justice Center. I don't know anything about his history. I want to start there first. So nothing that I say is personal toward him. And just in general, we're talking about people who some people will call either sociopathic or psychopathic, depending on, you know, if there's a diagnosis. But, you know, it's hard for me to kind of get in the mind of an individual who would do so much harm to someone else. That's something that is hard for me to fathom, particularly a man violating a woman. But sometimes you have to understand a person's story, not for empathy, but to try to understand like what is really causing them to tick that way.
Let me ask you this: can a person like that be rehabbed?
If it's possible, it's possible.
Right.
Yeah, I don't discount anyone. You know, I think that, you know, if a person is willing, and they're open to change, I think anything is possible. Yeah.
Yeah. What you had a question?
I do. How likely is it that he experienced sexual trauma in his past?
Again, I don't know specifically, but I can say that sometimes we do see patterns of behavior, some type of trauma from the perpetrators, the people who have committed crimes. And I will say this, particularly in Memphis, a lot of people are dealing with trauma, particularly experiencing the high number of homicides, the violence that we see in our city. I would say a lot of us are traumatized and may not even know it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Alicia Franklin. You know, what does she need? What do you think that will help her heal?
Right. I think any victim, not just her, needs support. I think they need a lot of emotional, social support. Sometimes it's difficult for someone who has been violated to even tell their story. You know, sometimes our society does not really, you know, sometimes we don't support the victims. And, you know, I think even in this P. Diddy situation, I heard some people saying, like, I guess I can believe her now. Like, now? Just because you saw the video? Right. And so sometimes that causes people to kind of go into their shell. But so as a victim, definitely a lot of emotional, social support.
Yeah. You know, I have to say, you know, I've had a chance to speak to Alicia Franklin multiple times, and you know, we both did Dateline interviews, you know, while you know these things were being talked about, and she is a courageous woman. You know, you think about it, and you may even know, you know, have an idea of what these numbers look like, but imagine all the people that's not reported. Right.
And just think about the bravery and the courage that it takes to report it. Right. So I applaud any victim who comes forward to report something like that.
Right.
Have you talked to her since the Eliza? Like, does she feel like she went unseen until the bigger case got involved? Like, how did she feel about her case not being newsworthy until the Eliza Fletcher thing? Have you talked to her?
Yeah. I did talk to her about, you know, we talked on Dateline, you know, about that, you know, and you know, the race implication, you know, it's hard to ignore it. You know, it's hard to ignore the fact that, you know, her kit didn't get tested until they needed to get a hit on this man in order to lock him up, in order to hold him for the Eliza Fletcher case. And amazingly, you know, they got the rape kit turned around and got Eliza Fletcher's DNA test turned around within a few days. You know, a week or so.
Right.
And, you know, but the race implication of it is blaring.
Because there was a citywide search, a citywide a need
Right.
to find out what happened
manhunt.
for that versus
Right.
we did not hear about
Right.
the rape.
Yeah.
And for her, that may be traumatizing too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for her to feel like she's not important,
Mm.
you know, enough for the city to give that type of effort in making sure her crime gets solved.
And what does that say to every other black woman
Mm-hmm.
in a majority black city about, you know, if you're sexually assaulted, you know, the effort that's going to be put forth to making
Right.
sure that your assailant is brought to justice
Right.
and off the streets. And and even, you know, just a little bit further, you know, you think about that, you know, if a person's been traumatized like that and that person is still out there on them streets, you know, they're can you
You're
imagine
always
living life
looking
like
over
that?
your shoulder.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You're
right.
already scared, but to
Mhm.
know that that person is still near. I
Does
couldn't.
a trauma like that, could that trigger deeper mental health issues and challenges for a person?
Yeah. Usually that's a type of trauma we'll consider a PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
Could trigger depression, you know, anxiety. You know, I've seen people who they were already suffering from other mental health illness, but a trauma can also throw you into a psychotic episode as well. So definitely want to, you know, be able to provide services as quickly as possible, because the longer that you go without services after a trauma, is more difficult to recover from it.
All right. Okay.
Oh.
Dr. Townsend in the building. Y'all give it up for her.
Dropping that
Thank you.
knowledge.
Dropping
Thank
that
you.
knowledge. I'm telling you, came in here looking like a superstar. Hey, but look, in this next segment, though, we are going to be talking about bleached, blonde, bad built, butch bodies.
Bodies.
Period.
Period. Yeah. So y'all stick around, stay, hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and all month long, we're going to be talking about mental health and getting the word out to educate our friends and families on the importance of good mental health. We also want to remove the stigma from the black community when it comes to mental health. It's okay to get that therapy. Ain't that right, Nichelle?
Absolutely. As someone who has been in therapy multiple times, I tell everybody to go get it.
Oh, I didn't know that. But before you said that,
Oh,
okay.
sorry, did I just
Right,
put it
right.
right
That's
there?
okay. That's okay. Yeah, right. I swear I can use some therapy. I got these good doctors. I might try to lean on them a little bit. DJ Kojak,
Yeah.
scratch it up for him 4 times for therapy.
Bam, 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 bam. I need a little therapy too, man.
Like,
So, you know, help me
Right.
out too.
Dr. K is in the building. Give it up for Dr. K.
Hey.
Hey, y'all,
Hello.
look at her. Look at
Hello, hello.
her. Dr. K, don't come in here acting shy and stuff. Look at her. Look.
Oh, you know I'm not shy.
Right, I
We
was
know
about
each
to
other.
say, I was
We've
bring the
known each
couch,
other
hey,
for
bring the couch.
years.
Right.
Did you not see my couch over there?
There you
Look
go.
more
There you go.
closely, please.
Just like the stretch.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the same
Yeah,
place
we're
where
all
your
mad here.
turntable is. So.
Right.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
man. Dr.
Yeah.
K, thank you for
Yes.
joining us. Now, look, me and Dr. K, we go a long way back.
We do.
You know, we work on multiple fronts. You know, we're always, fighting for youth sports and
Correct.
professional boxing in the
Correct.
city.
Yes.
Amateur boxing in the city. And also, she can help you get your mind right too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So all of that. Dr. K,
Yes,
tell
sir.
us how do you? First of all, we on this show also with yourself and Dr. Townsell. Look, throw up the quotes with it. Townsell.
No quotes.
Right. We want to celebrate, black women in the mental health field, because
Yes.
it's vitally important to us that that we're seeing.
Yes.
And of course, you are I would say a role model for a lot of young sisters that are coming up that may want to get in the mental health field too, or in the medical field. Period. We need you. We need you all over the place. How'd you get into it? What? Tell us how we got there.
And I'm glad you asked me that question because representation is very important.
Right.
They have to see us to even know they can be there as well. And my story isn't like glamorous or anything. I actually had graduated from undergrad and I was sitting at the graduation not knowing what I was going to do at all. And the person who was speaking happened to be the vice chancellor for academics at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. And his wife was a school psychologist. I'd never heard of school psychology. All I knew about was clinical psych. So that's what I wanted to do. So, of course, my mother, Catherine Streeter, being the great guidance counselor and slightly aggressive human being she was, she,
Black mom.
yes, exactly. She pushed me to the front to speak with him and tell him about me and how I'd graduated cum laude and I had not been accepted into their clinical psychology program. And she wanted to know right then why. And of course, he was very afraid and didn't know. And he said, well, not sure, but if you make it to UTK by Monday, I will give you an interview with my wife.
Wow. Nice.
And I interviewed with her. I got the position, and the rest is history.
Shout out to mom.
Yes.
One
Yes.
plan, right?
Don't take no mess.
Oh, not even a little bit.
And man, look, if you know these streeter sisters, they chips right off the block because they're the same way, man. They ain't gonna sit back in the back and chill and.
I mean, clearly we talking boxing, then they don't play. They got them hands.
Right.
Well, you have to fight all the way for the right things.
Yeah. Well, so what do you do now?
So now I'm in private practice as a school psychologist. I
Okay.
work with 9 different schools across Memphis City. A lot of schools that people think are with Shelby County are actually charter schools. And we were talking about that right before we came on, talking about how we wanted to actually make sure that we also partnered with some charter schools because they're kind of interwoven in with other schools like Fairleigh and Hillcrest. People think they're still with the city, but they're not. They're public charter schools.
Cheap and school districts.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah,
Exactly.
So speaking of schools,
Yes.
you talk about a perfect segue, right? So there's this teacher that's trending right now. Well, he's the former teacher now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's trending, and he was posted some video of the students in his classroom
Taking his hair down.
taking his hair down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was about to call you Angelica Nichelle. Nichelle looked like she's
I
biting
get
at the bit to say something. So Nichelle, go ahead.
Okay, so there was a TikTok teacher. He's in his classroom, and he asked some female students, to take his hair down while he's doing some work, and he goes live on social media while doing this. And so the topic of conversation has been, was it innocent content? Did he just make, a mistake there? Or is there more to it? Is this possibly grooming of these young girls? Because it starts with, oh, can you take my hair down? And then it goes to, oh, can you give me a massage? And, oh, can we spend a little time together after class? Because these students are calling him bestie. So are there lines that have been crossed?
Well, let me ask this question. So Nichelle, if I take your hair down, Am I grooming you?
Are you grooming me? No.
Oh.
Is it inappropriate? Possibly.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
wouldn't
professional
dare, I
line
wouldn't dare
that
take
is
your head
crossed
down
right
and
there.
I'm writing your check. Heck no.
There's a
Right,
professional
right.
line that's being
And
crossed.
you made my point. You made my point
Yeah.
exactly. So is
Yeah.
where does that land? If you were in Fairleigh and you walked in on this, what would your thoughts be?
I would immediately ask him to step out of the room. And I like to ask questions and seek understanding before I do anything.
What question would you ask?
I would say, hi, so tell me what's going on.
An
Context.
open-ended
just
question.
An open-ended question so he can answer in whatever way he wants to answer. Doesn't really matter what the answer is because I'm going to say, stay right here. Let's just stay right here. Let's stop all of this
Ooh, do you
right
see how
now.
that smile
Yeah.
left?
It was very nice. Not
From a smile to Mama Streeter.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to stay right here.
Right. She ain't smiled since.
No.
Yeah.
Let's stay right here and let's just stop all of this and switch to something else. I'd probably go in, take over the class, make some phone calls because regardless of what he meant, now we have overstepped some boundaries, just the physical touch, just even what disease that he may have something going on in his hair. They may have something going on with their hands.
I hadn't even thought
You
about
don't know how they're looking at it, how he's looking at it. A lot could be going on. And so even though you may love your students and you want to be close with them, you have to know where your boundaries are as an adult, as an educator, as somebody who can offer therapy. Oftentimes, children may even substitute their love for others onto you.
Ooh.
And when you feel that, you have to stop it.
Man, the
And you
doctor
have
is
to go to
doctoring.
somebody else.
Yeah, the doctor
Yeah,
is
you have to
doctoring.
do that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. So I don't think any cancer should be a teacher then if that's the case. 'Cause I'm a cancer.
To nurture.
And I know how nurturing and affectionate I am, you know.
Well, that's why they have training.
They do.
Yeah, and you go to school.
Yeah.
Even though I know
couldn't-
people think they can just step in there and be a teacher, but no, you really
No,
cannot.
I couldn't be a teacher anyway because I don't have the patience because, you know.
Yes,
some-
you have
some
to have
little grown-ass
patience
kid,
and
you
classroom
know, get out of line with me,
management.
man. Yeah, I'd be on TikTok for smacking the shit out of somebody's kids.
And
Yes, you'd be in
teachers-
jail.
Teachers
Right.
need to have emotional regulation.
All of those good
Okay.
The
things.
doctor's over there. She's like, okay, get them to,
You
get them
be
to.
for
I need
sure.
to see you. Okay.
Yes.
Right,
be
right.
fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be fired. I'd be fired. I'd probably be TikTok viral too, but for a different reason.
Hopefully, we would counsel you into another area.
Yeah, firefighting.
We
which
would.
is what I did.
Maybe
See,
you
you did the right
I need
thing.
to run into burning buildings. That's more appropriate
I was
for
just
me.
coaching
Right.
because tough love. You don't have to be with the students. You can just tell them, hey, go run some laps or something. Teach them some exercise. There you go.
Is
You
that what
can
it
coach.
is?
You could coach.
I can
It
coach,
takes
yeah.
all different kinds
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I can
grow a
coach.
child.
You
I
could
coach.
coach.
Yeah, I
That's
Yes.
the difference.
There
type
you
of-
go.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
mentoring.
So
Let me ask a question.
what?
Yeah.
Hold on. What?
We get Kojak.
Kojak got a question?
No, I'm gonna let him have it. Let him have it.
Know what I'm saying? Okay, you're in the school system,
Yes, I am.
and the kids younger and younger are smoking marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these different strands of marijuana out there. You got all this stuff that you don't really know what's in it.
Mhm.
Can that be attributed to some kind of chemical imbalance? Because it's chemicals in some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can that cause a chemical imbalance and actually have, throw off a child's, like I said, chemical
Mm-hmm.
in your brain? Will that make them?
Can it trigger
Could
something?
that actually
Hey,
make?
can you
them-
get the question out, brother?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to understand.
Look,
They
got
trying to
Nichelle-
rush it.
Look,
They
Michelle
trying
over
to
here
rush
trying to
the
throw you an
question.
alley oop, and you know, I'm just
Yeah,
looking
could
at
that
it. I'm
could
just
that
messing.
cause mental illness?
Well, let
A
me start
chemical
off.
imbalance in the brain. If they
By-
on that.
Still asking the question, huh?
I got you.
I'm trying to think. I need to know. I'm trying to get my question in so I can.
No,
No.
you need to stop or start or okay. So let me start off by saying I'm not a representative of the marijuana industry, nor am I a proponent, nor am I opposed to it. Okay.
Right.
But I will say this. There's already enough going on chemically in most people that are
Okay.
imbalances that you don't want to mess up.
Right.
So you certainly don't want to add anything to that. And children have minds that are growing. and they're changing all of the time.
Yeah.
So you don't want to add anything into that mix that wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. And oftentimes, mental illness comes from a chemical imbalance in your brain.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what
Okay.
I want. That's
Yes.
what I'm
So, but I don't want to say marijuana is the cause of that, because there are some people who are actually born depressed. They're born with the ability to become anxious in situations, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's the way your brain operates. I like to say you have a brain injury, because oftentimes people will think about mental health in terms of, are you tough? You know, do you have enough spiritual guidance? You know, are you able to handle it? You have nothing to do with the way your brain operates. Sometimes it's a chemical imbalance that requires real medication, not marijuana, but real medicine.
Oh, that is real, man.
clear.
I'm
and let me be,
Medicine from a doctor.
right.
Yes.
Let me be clear. I'm not talking about.
like Willie
I'm
Nelson.
not talking
Snoop
about
Dogg.
regular marijuana. I'm talking marijuana with chemicals in it.
But you know,
'Cause they're
but
putting
you don't know
chemicals
what's
in
in
the
the
stuff.
marijuana today.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about homegrown, just
yeah.
regular.
Oh man, they
I'm
cutting
talking
it with
about
everything
chemicals
now.
they
They spraying fentanyl and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
But so, Kojak, what was your question?
That-
I'm just kidding. Man, please don't ask.
You've
me.
been Kojak.
Right. Kojak's question lasted 5 minutes.
It did. It
I
was a long
appreciate your
Right, it's the
question.
remix.
Thank
But
you.
Thank
she
you.
understood
Shout out to our
it, 'cause
guest.
she-
The remix
The
question.
doctor appreciate my
she
question.
used
That's
to
all that
answer
matters.
questions like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, are people that have these chemical imbalances, are they just more likely to once get on substances and then become substance abusers?
Well, I can't necessarily say that because I'm not a medical doctor, but what I have found is that oftentimes because I work primarily with children, oftentimes when we find children who are vaping in class, or they are smoking marijuana before school or after school or trying to do it during school, oftentimes they will have an undiagnosed disability.
Oh.
Usually what I found this year, it's anxiety. So many kids are coming out with anxiety disorders, especially after the pandemic. I'm seeing a lot of children who are school phobic. Educationally, that would fall under an anxiety disorder, which educationally we call that an emotional disturbance, or sometimes we may call it other health impairment. It depends on how it comes out in the wash.
Right. Yeah. So
Yes.
look, I gotta ask this, and we might have to go over just a couple minutes. But one, there's been a major uptick in mental health challenges before the pandemic. So you know, I know a lot of people try to put it on the pandemic, but what do we attribute the uptick in mental health issues with our youth to?
I attribute it to people becoming more comfortable reporting. Because we've always had people who were not right. You had that
Right.
uncle
We
who was
can't
in the
get right.
attic,
Yeah.
that
Right,
aunt who was in the
Yeah.
basement,
Right.
that man across the street,
Right.
that little kid you were looking at and saying there's something wrong with him. But nobody wanted to come out and say something's wrong with my baby. They need help.
And they still don't like those titles. I don't
They
want to
do
get
not.
them tested because I don't
But
want
they
that
wanted to check.
label on my
Exactly.
baby.
But they wanted
But
the crazy
they
check.
need it. It's not the. They don't need the check. They need the support
No, they
and
wanted
the
the
help.
check.
But they just don't want the label because it looks bad or it makes you look like a bad parent.
Yeah.
Well, I see that parents are sending their very best babies. They only have those babies, and that's who they're sending to school. So when you say your child has a disability, that hurts to the core.
Oh wow. And it makes
So,
them feel sometimes.
oh
Yeah,
yes,
it makes
like
you
there's
feel
something wrong with them.
definitely. So
Right.
what
Oh,
I
that-
what I focus on is saying these are your child's abilities, even though they have this problem, strengths and weaknesses, as we all do. These are the things your child can do, and these are the things your child needs help with.
What give us 5 reasons Black people don't seek mental health care. Give
Number-
me one. Give me one reason. We're gonna go around the table.
Okay. One big reason is nobody wants their people to feel like their child is crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
DJ Kojak.
I agree.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
No,
Angelica.
okay, well-
Angelica, we need
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
5 reasons. 5 reasons Black people don't seek mental health.
Here we go. Because they feel like the child is playing or something is wrong with the child, so they just want to beat it out of them.
Oh,
Yes.
Understand? You
man.
just they,
That's
they
a
like
big
they
one.
like
Yeah,
man
that's
quit.
valid.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I
Right.
had I you know I messed up.
Oh, okay. Look,
Forgive yourself. Forgive
He
yourself.
just did it.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Nichelle.
Mine is that they believe they can pray it away, that God's gonna take care of it, that He gave us the power of prayer, that it's just gonna go away, and that's it. But you need Jesus and a therapist.
Yes,
Right.
they pray for a good therapist.
Yeah,
Right.
God gave us medicine and therapy for a reason. We should use those resources.
But they don't pray for that. They just
don't pray
feel
for
like
that.
we lay hands on them demons gonna come out. Kids talking and seeing.
And that's what it is.
Talking and
It's
seeing.
demons.
We
it's
just
not a
gonna-
mental
We're gonna exercise these
disability.
demons.
It's a demon.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the devil in them. That's
Yeah.
we're gonna exorcism.
Yeah. Let me think. I would say one of the reasons that they don't seek mental health care is because they just attribute it. Oh, he just bad. Or she just bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and they look at it like that the whole time. Them little aces is starting to root and
Yes.
turn into some little aces fruit trees. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, this child, the little bad child, became the shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have to go where she talked about.
Right. Yeah.
They
yeah.
start with me and they end with her.
Yeah. Yeah. So do this for me as quickly as you can. Give me 5 reasons they should seek mental health care for their child.
Well, number one, the child is not bad. I find very few children are bad. They usually have an undiagnosed disability. Number two, they need help and resources. Number three, they need to start planning for the future. Number four, they need to forgive themselves and forgive the child
Ooh, come on,
for
that
that
part.
behavior. And number five, they need to plan on what they're going to do once they get help and move on and become an adult.
Man,
Ooh, she
good.
rattled that thing.
Real
Oh,
good.
man.
Hey, she didn't know about the question. How she?
How come you don't answer
We
like
had
that?
time to prepare.
That's what I'm wondering.
We prepared.
We still thinking.
Had a whole hour-long meeting.
Right. Right.
Like
Y'all
she
give it
knew
up
it.
for Dr. K. Dr. K.
Yeah.
in the building. Yeah, Dr. K, you have been absolutely amazing. We truly, truly appreciate you. Make sure you let everybody know how they can get in touch. Hold that because we're going to do it during the drop.
Okay,
it
we'll
during the
do
drop.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, again, y'all, we didn't get a chance to cover, the bleach blonde,
Blonde,
bad built, butch body.
Yeah.
Say it.
That was a
Congresswoman
Period.
Jasmine Crockett, we love you. I just want you to know that. Come on the show. Come on the Antonio
Please.
Parkinson Project. We'd love to
Please.
have you.
I want to be here for that one.
But we want to thank the sisters, the black doctors that are in the building.
Yeah.
Black Girls Doc. We're excited to have you, and we'll make sure that their contact information is available to us all also. So we'll make sure we put them in the drops and air those. And I want to thank all of our guests. We want to thank Alliance Healthcare also. Again, all month long, we're talking about mental health, y'all. Mental
Yes.
health is so vitally important to us. We want to thank our sponsors again, Alliance Healthcare, for being part of this great series of shows. I just was handed this note by my boss, Nichelle. She said, oh yeah, okay,
Make sure
yeah.
you plug the
So
events.
so Alliance Healthcare, you could have plugged it. Look, Alliance Healthcare, they have a resources deal going on, Navigating Mental Health Services event on May 21st, and is this the one at First Baptist Broad? Yeah, so this is going to be at First Baptist Broad, Navigating Mental Health Services
Is that Tuesday?
on May 21st.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. What time? 8:30 a.m. to
Yes.
12:30 p.m. So pull up, everything you can think about in regards to mental health services. We'll be there and available. You can ask all the questions that you want, and it's free. It's free to the public. So make sure you pull up, and you're gonna be there, Doc. Look, Dr. Townsend is gonna be there. Yeah, look, hey, I might pull up now. But yeah, make sure you pull up. Also, want to send a shout out to our mayor, Paul Young. Paul Young, if you're watching the show, come back on the show, man. I'm saying it a nice way. Come back on the show, man.
Got a couple more questions, actually.
Yeah.
more questions.
People ask me about the 75 cents. So you might want to come on and talk about that too.
little bit.
Look.
They are.
Dr. Streeter like,
Let's talk
Dr.
about
Streeter
it.
said she want to be back for that show too.
I'm a homeowner.
Just
Yeah.
got a question.
Right. Yeah, we got questions. But look, thank you again. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You've been watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. We'll see you next week.